Well, welcome to Mondello Park, ladies and gents, for day 2 of the ICCR meeting. And this, of course, is the Leinster Trophy meeting, probably the biggest race meeting of the year. It's great to have the Leinster Motor Club guys back with us. And certainly, from my point of view in commentary, they've been giving me an awful lot of help this weekend in terms of bringing up these historic trophies, showing them to me, and giving me a little bit of history on each one in case I get some downtime, which is always great. When we're live streaming, which we are today on the Infinite Energy ICCR with See It Live and the Beacon Hospital. So we've got a lot to go through here today. We've had great racing all day yesterday, and we've had qualifying this morning. As you can see, it has been raining here all morning, so really difficult conditions and a lot of offs, a lot of people qualifying not where they should be, which I suppose from a cruel point of view will give us a lot of excitement because we've got some quick guys at the back who are going to have to come charging their way up. The good news is, out over turn 3, it's gone clear for the first time since about 8 o'clock this morning. So that's generally where the weather comes from. It's where the breeze is coming from this morning. So it should clear up here at Mondello Park, and we should get some fantastic racing. We've got Leinster Motor Club have brought down some fantastic trophies. The Leinster Trophy is the big one, of the Selco.ie Formula V guys will be vying for that. They were out this morning. Ronan Doherty quickest, but very, very quick drivers around. Dan Polly coming back out for that one. We haven't seen him at Mondello Park for a while. The yellow H car, he's right there. Colin Blackburn, never be discounted. Jack Byrne, loads more. We'll go through them later on, but a lot of really quick drivers in Formula V. Whoever wins the Leinster Trophy this weekend really will have deserved it. We've got some other trophies there. We've got the Ann Stevens Trophy for the Patch Tire Equipment Junior Minis. They're also getting their first ever live stream today. They're getting their first ever grid walkabout just after lunch, the first race. Their families, sponsors and everybody else will be on the grid. We'll be having a chat with them down on the grid. The Zetecs, the Siltec Safety Zetecs are out. We've got top jockey Danny Mullins out there. He went really well here in testing a few weeks ago. Struggled a little bit this morning in the wet, but I suspect he will go very well. He's one of the rookies, so he's taken on about 10 other rookies in that one. He'll hopefully be on the grid, and he'll have a chat with us later on. But we're almost ready to go, and the first race of today will be the Legends Ireland Championship Race 1, and they're already behind me in the pit lane, so I'll head back into commentary, and we'll be back in a moment with action on the track at Mondello Park. So I was going to say I'm back in out of the rain. The rain has disappeared, but this is a new feature with See It Live and Timing.ie, and we have the championship points for the various championships on screen, and we'll be hoping to calculate that after race 1 for most of the classes and have it there for race 2 as well. So Lee Malone is leading this championship. They always have thousands of points because they do so many races and they get big point scores, but Lee Malone is leading the championship now. Crucial stage of the season for any championship at Mondello Park, because there's just one more race meeting here in October before the 6 hour in November. So basically it's coming to championship decider time. Evan Curran is second place, 2.410 points. Scott Jackson in third, 2.355. Sylvie Bartlett, the tin top convert, former Formula V racer and former Fiesta ST racer, on 2.150 points. He's in fourth place. Willie Lawrence in fifth. Michael Barrable in sixth place. Watch out for Michael Barrable, always goes well. He's won 2 championships with Fiesta STs, many Formula Ford and rally successes behind him, massively experienced. Richard Spence is in 7th place. Derek Hogan going nicely in 8th. Then Kevin O'Donoghue and Anthony Malone. That's your top 10 in the Legends Ireland 2024 Drivers' Championship points. We'll have a look at the grid in a minute. They're making their way around a soaking wet Mondello Park, but it is definitely, you can see the Hill of Allen out the back of that shot, and that's always a good sign when it's wet here at Mondello Park. So there's the grid. We have a long time to call it out because it's a long lap. We're using the international track, the full international track. That's the national linked up to the loop, as it's called here at Mondello, the international loop, and it's the full circuit at the Leinster Trophy meeting, as it always is. So Evan Curran will start this one from the front row with Anthony Malone alongside him, and then Willie Lawrence on row 2 and Michael Barrable. So that's the first 2 rows of the grid. Then it's Jamie Moylan, very quick driver. Watch out for Jamie Moylan, making a name for himself in the UK this year. Then Gordon Brown, Richard Spence and Derek Hogan. You can't miss Derek Hogan in the Pink Panther, as he calls his car, and you'll see why when it comes on screen in a minute. Then Lee Malone, right up there in the championship, back down on row 5 for this one, so keep an eye on that. Then that's car number 13. Then 99 is Scott Jackson. 11 is Jonathan Files. Jonathan Files back out in a legend. Well, they're picked out of a hat for the first one. Now, Jonathan Files gave us incredible entertainment in Formula Boss Ireland here yesterday. He managed to beat all the modern cars in race 2 at his dad's old, very emotional moment, his dad's old Ralt RT4 Formula Atlantic chassis. Great drive from Jonathan Files. If you want excitement, I said this yesterday, in a race, just put Jonathan Files on the entry list. He's never, he won't stay there for long. Dennis Lambert alongside him and in 12th position, so 12 cars on this one, but Jonathan Files probably the man to watch, certainly in terms of entertainment here at Mondello Park today. We're coming to you live thanks to the Beacon Hospital, who have helped us all year with this live stream. We've got great reaction to it. Do comment if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're on social media watching us, just share it please. And let's get everybody's sponsors out there and all these racing drivers, give them a little bit of exposure as the legends come back towards us. We do have to apologise a little bit. It has hammered rain all morning, and some of the cameras, the unmanned cameras, do have a little bit of rain on them. We'll get that sorted at lunchtime, but meanwhile we couldn't get out to them before racing started just now. But we could still make out what's happening. So Evan Curran and Anthony Malone coming towards us. Watch out for Willie Lawrence, blue car. He's been very quick, and he's won already in Legends this year. Great sound effect as the 1200cc bike engines roar. Michael Barrable looking for the middle, he didn't get it. Somebody else swinging to the outside as they come back down towards us. And last of the late breakers on the outside is that Moylan, but certainly it's Evan Curran nicely on the brakes and doesn't get anyone near him, gets turned in, gets to the apex, and he's first out there. A little bit difficult to drive in wet conditions, these cars. The drivers absolutely love them. They've got a sequential gearbox, a motorbike engine, they rev really hard. They haven't got a whole lot of power. Somebody going around, coming out of Campion corner just to prove me correct. And 44 that is. 44 is Jamie Moylan. I did say that, 144, sorry. I did say watch out for Jamie Moylan. He's gone right round the outside of Lawrence to take second place. Michael Barrable trying to do the same, but the car just won't turn in. That's the legacy of the beam axle. They don't have a differential, these cars. They tend to just plough straight on. So there's quite a technique to getting the initial turn in, the initial bite, and then you drive them through the corner on the throttle. They're not like a normal conventional racing car. That's why they're so much fun. They move around a lot under you, but they can be quite tricky in these wet conditions. So Moylan definitely the danger man here, going for the lead down the inside into Lola corner. Brave move into that high-speed corner, but he gets down the inside. Evan gives him just the width, but gets back up the inside. Moylan goes wide. Now he's coming back at him again. They're both scrabbling for grip. That lead has changed 3 times in one corner because Moylan gets it done again on the exit, and he should have the inside line now on the run down to 7A and B. Big long braking zone. These cars, they don't have wet or dry tyres. They have the same rubber in all conditions, so they'll be really struggling a little bit for grip here. So Lawrence in third place. It looks like a Barrable in fourth in the MB Motors car. Is that Files up to fifth, a plain white car? I suspect it might be. There's the Pink Panther right in the middle of that one. They come back towards us. It's Jamie Moylan leading, but not getting away that much. Sideways stuff from Evan Curran as he tries to stay in touch. 77 is Willie Lawrence. 18 is Michael Barrable. Pretty equally matched as they come back the short straight to Nordic Spirit corner, the paddock corner as it used to be. The corner, few people have come croppers there this morning in qualifying. It's very slippery on the curb. Somebody going out wide, that's surely Files, is it? White car very, very wide. That doesn't manage to lose a position there. Drivers moving around looking for, is there a little bit of contact? No, I don't think so. Just a little bit of weaving around behind them there as Lawrence and Barrable both try and get on the power. Back of the cars move, even as he grabs a gear there. Michael Barrable struggling for grip in a straight line. Oh, and a lot of spray coming up behind him, so the circuit's still very wet. And Barrable with a look down the inside. Oh, surely there's no room there, up over the inside curb. Well, Willie Lawrence gave him racing room. That's gentlemanly racing from those two guys. So good stuff, but he's got through, but he's struggling a little bit for traction on the exit. And Lawrence coming back at him. Through Campion corner now. Barrable still has it, but only just. And it is Jonathan Files. I did say that. He's listed as a rookie here for some reason. So Files up to, from the back of the grid up to 5th place. We'll see what his pace is like when they do a flying lap. But he is definitely catching these guys behind. And that's having had a few moments already. But it wouldn't be Jonathan Files if there weren't moments. He's in 5th place overall. Oh, Derek Hogan off. I wonder can the marshals get that going. Fair play to them. They're out there like a shot, but it's dug in pretty deep. No, maybe not. Well done to the Orange Army. I think they've got Derek Hogan back out there. So great stuff as they stream out through the Bridgestone corner and up the hill towards Lola. Safety car. Well, the safety car I think was probably thrown because of Derek Hogan's car, but I think he's got that going. But the safety car will already have been dispatched. It'll probably just do a lap and come back in if that was the issue. So they're still down at 7A and B. Haven't just slowed down just yet, but they haven't encountered the safety car just yet. Just looking down, I don't see it on the main straight. In fact, have the boards gone back in? And we have yellows. We've got yellows all around the track, so I'm assuming it's still safety car. It is on the screen as well. Just 3 minutes 56 to go in this one, so it's unlikely they'll get another racing lap. But we will be seeing them back on track later on. They'll be competing for the Jack Toohey Cup in their final race of the weekend. The actual cup that Jack Toohey won back in the 1930s. So huge history in the Leinster Motor Club Cups this weekend. So Moylan, Curran, Barrable, Lawrence and Files, the top 5. Then it was Scott Jackson, Malone, Spence, Lee Malone, Lambert, Brown, and it was Derek Hogan, but he parked up in the gravel. Did he get back going again? I don't see him on screen just yet. So just 3 minutes 19 showing on the clock. There's the BMW Ireland safety car, M2 competition. Lights are flashing and already hooked up with the leader. So 2 minutes 57 showing on the clock at this one. Jamie Moylan leads the pack round behind the safety car. That'll close them all right back up. They did get a racing lap. I'm sure Files would fancy his chances of making another place or two, but I'm not so sure. 2 minutes 44 now. So the Legends streaming up the hill. Kennedy's rise towards Lola corner, the right-hander that dictates your pace all the way down the back straight. Tricky corner in these conditions, especially for the, we saw that earlier for these Legends. They're wheel spinning and just moving around quite a lot, even as they change gear in a straight line, one or two of them scrabbling for grip. But it looks like that's, I'm preempting it, but I think that's probably how it will end with Jamie Moylan taking that one. First rookie will be Evan Curran, who led so well early on there. Michael Barrable, ironically enough, Michael Barrable is a rookie in the Legend rulings, even though he's got so much experience, but he is new to Legend, so he's a rookie. Willie Lawrence next up. Willie was one of the top rookies last year. He's a pro now. Jonathan Files also showing as a rookie. Scott Jackson as a pro. Anthony Malone as a pro. Richard Spence as pro, as is Lee Malone. And then it's Lambert, Hogan and Brown and Hogan. And Derek Hogan is showing with 2 laps done. There he is on track actually. He's just heading up the hill towards Lola, so he is still going. Moylan weaving around trying to get a bit of heat into those tyres, obviously hoping there'll be a restart, but 51 seconds, or they might get one, you know. Lights are off on the safety car, so if the safety car peels in this time they will actually get 1 lap. Moylan fully aware of that. He's backed off, the safety car's gone well ahead and has come in the pit lane out of our view. Somebody spun on the formation lap, or last of the safety car laps, effectively a formation lap I suppose, and they're racing. We're coming out of Southside Motor Factory's corner on the main straight now. So here we go, and sideways stuff from Moylan as he comes out onto the main straight. Then Evan Curran right with him. The green flag's being waved. We've got 1 racing lap to the checkered flag. So can Jonathan Files move up another place? He's got through the rookies fairly quickly, but I don't know. These guys up front are very quick. Look at the drift on Evan Curran's car as he gets on the brakes down into turn 1. He's obviously got the brakes adjusted a bit to the back. Jonathan Files looks like he's using a handbrake to stop the car. The full of the rack at the newly renamed Castrol corner. Turn 1 at Mondello Park is now Castrol corner. It's liveried and renamed. Looks fantastic, and it's great to have that iconic brand back here at Mondello Park. So Moylan, Curran and Barrable still the order here. And it's the blue car just holding off. That's Willie Lawrence just holding off Jonathan Files. Coming back towards the main arena now for the last time. The off-camber corner, that can catch people out sometimes in the wet. It's a little bit off-camber in the braking zone coming in, and you can just drag you out into the gravel. So Moylan, Curran, Barrable, Lawrence, Files, Jackson, Malone, Spence, Lambert, Brown, Malone and Hogan was the order as they restarted. Nobody making any moves just yet. Jonathan Files sliding the car around. And Scott Jackson trying a tighter line to get alongside him now on the back straight. Two very different techniques being used. Up to full speed on the back straight. Barrable fancies his chances of closing into, excuse me, poleman Evan Curran there. In fact, Barrable right with him, but goes a little bit straight on. Again, we see these legends with the beam rear axle. They just don't want to turn in. The back beam axle drives them straight on. And you've got to just stay on the brakes, try and get some bite from the front and then drive them through under power, as Moylan is obviously doing to perfection. He led inside the first half lap, still leading. So Moylan, Curran, Barrable. Files, in fact, with a little bit of a traffic jam behind him now. Scott Jackson and Richard Spence have hauled him in. Jonathan Files in a spotted body there. A lot of understeer going through, and that's surely going to send him wide. 99 is going to get down the inside, I think, there. Does it. Files goes wide again. I think he might have a problem. He's not making any attempt to get in towards an apex there, Jonathan Files. Kicking up a little bit of grass on the exit, loses 2 places. So checkered flag should be prepared. It is. Fergus Brennan has prepared the checkered flag, washed and ironed, for its first use of today. Got plenty of use yesterday here at Mondello Park. Sideways stuff, celebrating on the way out of the final corner. He's happy with that one, isn't he? Jamie Moylan's had a great year, and it's getting even better. He takes the win on first race of day 2 of the ICCR Leinster Trophy here at Mondello Park. Curran right with him in second place. Great drive from him. Michael Barrable, Willie Lawrence, Scott Jackson, Lee Malone, Jonathan Files in 7th place. Then it's Gordon Brown, Richard Spence, Dennis Lambert, and then Anthony Malone. And do we have Derek Hogan? We do have Derek Hogan still going. He just didn't quite get up to that safety car train, so he's been lapping on his own there. But he will get to the finish and get his points for that one as Malone goes through. And then there's just Derek Hogan now to come out of Southside Motor Factory's corner, and I'm happy to say it's gone much brighter here at Mondello Park, so fingers crossed the track can start drying now. The more cars we get on it, of course, the quicker it'll dry. So that's our first race of the day ticked off. Next up will be Formula V Championship, the Selco.ie Formula V Championship Race 1. Final results coming up there. Jamie Moylan taking the win, 4 laps race. Then Evan Curran next up. He's first of the rookies. Michael Barrable, 3rd and 2nd rookie. Willie Lawrence, 2nd in the pros and 4th overall. Scott Jackson, 3rd in the pros and 5th overall. Lee Malone, 4th in the pros and 6th overall. And then Jonathan Files is the 3rd rookie, and he's in 7th, despite that problem on the final lap. Then Gordon Brown, Richard Spence, and Dennis Lambert. So good stuff from the motorbike-powered legends there. It looks like John Rock getting into one of the Mondello snatch vehicles down there. Maybe somebody needs a tow back in. Once that vehicle moves, it usually means someone's going to need recovery, and it's the Mondello Park machine heading out the pit lane down towards Castrol Corner. Sorry, do you mean? So while we're waiting for Formula V Ireland to come out of assembly and go around for their warm-up lap and formation onto the grid, we'll have a quick commercial break here on the Beacon Hospital live stream.
GSE.
Electric.
Welcome to Mondello Park, more than just a racetrack.
We have conferencing facilities for up to 200 people.
We can provide a wide range of fresh, locally produced food, from soup and sandwiches all the way up to a full 5-course meal.
Test your team to work together in a series of racing challenges against the clock in our state-of-the-art driving simulators.
Or if you want to try the real thing, jump behind the wheel of one of our many supercars.
Test your team with our wide variety of non-driving team-building challenges. Beat the clock in our exhilarating auto test challenge. Mondello Park, so much more than just a racetrack. So there is a delayed start. We just got a little bit of a clear up out there on track. I think some of the rescue crew are having a look around just to make sure everything is okay out on the international loop. But meanwhile, the Formula Vs, as you can see below us, are getting ready to go. And it is Ronan Doherty, who we haven't seen in a V much this year at all. He did a bit of Formula Ford racing and was very quick, so good ambassador for Formula V, but he's quickest this morning. He will start this from pole position. Jordan Kelly, no need for an introduction. We all know Jordan Kelly. Both of these guys actually top sim racers. You see them racing quite a lot online, Ronan Doherty and Jordan Kelly. So transferring to the real thing, but they're both very experienced V racers as well and have won a lot of races between them, both Formula Fords and and Formula V as well. So as we said, great ambassadors for Formula Vs. They always say if you go well on a V in Mondello, you go well anywhere. Well, they've Jordan Kelly, of course, winning races in the UK as if he was born to it. Dan Polly on the second row of the grid with LOH Motorsport. Dan is a former Leinster Trophy winner. He's a formidable competitor. He hasn't been out in a while. He's certainly not rusty, and he's P3. Gavin Buckley will start alongside him in the yellow car you can see down there, run by Adam McCauley. Then Colin Blackburn won't be happy to be that far back. Probably, is that Colin's first time in the wet with that newer chassis? It possibly is. He's upgraded to from the original older shape JH002 chassis, I think it was, to this newer shape one, and is incredibly quick in the wet, but he won't be happy with being back on row 3, and he won't be used to it. Another hard racer is Jack Byrne on row 3. Then it's Owen Kelly and Kieran Hannon, and Conor Melia and Eamon Thornton, Andy Keogh, Charlie Hart, Robert Fleming, Adam McNamara, Niall O'Mara, Ger Byrne, Finn Gillespie, Paul Lewis, Colin Lewis, Oliver Devlin, Stephen Roach, Simon Rudd, Tim Murray, who I'm not sure is out there, and Lee Flynn. So we'll go through them when they come out onto the grid, but for the moment we're going to have a delayed start. I think there's something just being cleared up on the international loop, so as soon as we get back with the green light, we'll have the V's out for their formation lap, and then we'll line up and go racing. Opposed. Gavin Buckley similar. Blackburn is feisty. There's always good moves when Colin Blackburn's around, and the black least on row 3. Similarly, Jack Byrne, if there's half a gap. First two have made a big break. Then it's Polly, Buckley, Byrne, and is that Blackburn? I think it is. Look at Blackburn out wide, looking for grip on the outside, not taking a conventional racing line. Everyone else going for the apex in the second bit of turn 2. He's trying something a little bit different, but certainly the first two have just made a big, by Formula V standards, that's a huge break halfway around the first lap. They're out onto the international loop, Bridgestone corner, right out to that curb, up the hill, 4th gear in a Formula V. Usually 4th gear around this right-hand Lola corner, but it could be 3rd in wet conditions. They tend to have a little bit of torque, so they should be fine there in 4th gear. And look at Kelly getting out of shape there, but in fact Doherty inching away from him. Buckley also out of shape, big armful of opposite lock there, and somebody else, is that was a Black Leastone? I think it was probably Blackburn, but somebody with an armful of opposite lock, a little bit hairy, coming out onto the back straight as Jack Byrne begins to sniff around behind Buckley. And Buckley goes a little bit wide, but just carries enough speed to hang on to that one there. Good 4-car battle as they come streaming through. And now Kelly's got right back up to Doherty again through 7A and B. So I don't know if Doherty made a mistake or Kelly is quick around that area. Doherty certainly very wide there, and a flick gets Kelly down the inside. Momentarily out of our view, but Doherty carries enough speed to contain that. Both going, look at that long high road round the outside. They're not going anywhere near that apex, looking for grip on the outside of the track. Two experienced racers coming towards Nordic Spirit corner now, and expect Kelly to be spectacular through here, and indeed he is. Takes maybe half a length back from Doherty. He's close enough to have a go up into Southside Motor Factors. Doesn't do it on this occasion, but Doherty is brave and goes right round the outside, doesn't defend. Let's see who gets better traction. Doherty does, and Kelly gets a little bit out of shape into 4th gear now on the main straight. That's a huge lead these two have at the end of lap 1. So Doherty goes through over a second ahead of Kelly, and 3 seconds back to Dan Polly in 3rd, who is shaking everybody else off. Down into Castrol corner now, the newly renamed corner at Mondello Park, turn 1. All clear out of there. Polly looks like he's possibly got a bit of pace, doesn't he? He's stabilised the gap certainly to Kelly, and he's driven away from Buckley and Byrne. So the order as they went across the line was Doherty, Kelly, Polly, Buckley, Byrne, Blackburn, Owen Kelly, Kieran Hannon, Eamon Thornton, Charlie Hart rounding out the top 10, and the leaders in A are Doherty. Jordan Kelly somehow is a B driver, Owen Kelly also a B driver in 7th, Kieran Hannon B, Eamon Thornton B, they're 7th and 8th, and then the first C driver is Charlie Hart, just from Conor Melia, so we'll keep an eye on that one there, 10th and 11th. And let's see where Finn Gillespie is showing 4th in C. So he's got ahead of a few drivers already, but a long trek for him to come up any further. Somebody had a problem there. He's on their outlap. Adam McNamara, he must have been in the pits showing outlap on the screen here. as they head out onto the international loop again. It's very spaced out for a V race, I've got to say, but certainly it's Doherty out front. He was a second to the good. Polly having a lonely race because he's clearly quicker than that group behind, but he's not closing the gap to Kelly or Doherty just yet. So 11 minutes 23 to go in this one. It's a 15-minute race. So Doherty, Kelly and Polly, the top three at the moment. First of the B's is Owen Kelly, and first of the C's when they went by us last time was Charlie Hart in the Selco car. So Blackburn struggling a little bit. Somebody off in the background, that's Hannon. Hannon off at Bahrain's Benz, straight on there, just didn't get it turned in. We just saw it in the background. Is that Owen Kelly behind Blackburn? I think Blackburn with his mirrors full. Anyway, he's not moving forward just yet. Dry conditions, certainly we'd be expecting him to fly, but maybe just hasn't got a good wet setup on that car just yet. He's not that far back, but by his standards, is that Hannon? It looks like he was stopping there. Big gaps in this V field, so some of them obviously have good wet weather setups or greasy weather setups, and some don't, because normally this is one big long stream of cars. Not so much today. Big gaps in the grid. Going across, Doherty with fastest lap and has extended that by 0.6 to 1.6 seconds last time round. Polly in third place, but 2 seconds off the lap time of the guys in front. So that's dropped him back to 4.9 seconds behind them. There you are. That's Polly we're looking at in the centre of our screen now at turn 3. That's Buckley next up in the yellow car. And Byrne, Blackburn, Owen Kelly leading the B's. That red car there also crowding Blackburn just a little bit. Colin Blackburn had a gearbox issue on Friday. I think his car was in component form in the paddock, but he was feeling fairly confident before the weekend. I'd be hoping it dries out for the Leinster Trophy. It should do. I mean, if I look out over turn 3, there's certainly, you can see the Hill of Allen, which is traditionally and historically where the weather comes from in Mondello Park, so it's a good sign that it will dry up. But the track remaining very greasy. You can see it there on track, and you can see by the body language of the cars as Jack Byrne hangs the tail out there, but actually gets a good run at Buckley as a result on the way down. Maybe just didn't lift out of it, and Buckley sees it coming as well. He must be watching the live stream. He goes to the inside to defend, then goes back to the outside to take a full racing line. Blackburn now perhaps beginning to inch up to them as he gets used to this Lee Stone chassis. Oh, they get away from him on the way out though. It must be traction he's got an issue with, because he was very late on the brakes on the way in there. Gillespie up another place out of shot. Simon Rudd was the next one on his list. So there's Polly going through. Buckley, Byrne, and Blackburn and Kelly. Big gap after that one. Yellow flags. Start finish line, not sure why. It was just there for a second. Somebody may have spun and recovered. It's back in now. There was briefly a yellow on the main straight. Leaders coming out onto the main straight now. Doherty and Kelly. Main action here is for 4th place. They're very spaced out. That's got to be fastest lap. It's again 2:13 for Doherty, 2:14.5 for Kelly, 2:16.2 for Dan Polly. We're losing some 3 seconds on that lap to Doherty, and everybody else in the 16s and 17s as they go through. So Ronan Doherty there in a class of his own. He's a full second quicker than Jordan Kelly, and he's probably 3 seconds quicker than anybody else per lap. He is. So it's great stuff, a real demonstration out front from Ronan Doherty. He was keen to, thought he would have won the Leinster Trophy last year, but he had I think he had a cracked, it was an inlet manifold that he had something gave him a misfire and actually ruled him out of the running completely. So Jack Byrne's dropped back now behind Blackburn. So Blackburn beginning to go a bit better. What was his lap time? Like 16.8. It's similar. They're all doing 16s in that group. So it's being led by Gavin Buckley, but Blackburn certainly looks a little bit more settled now. He's got the head down. He's in 5th place and looking for 4th as he heads up Kennedy's Rise towards Lola, the right-hand corner onto the back straight. Buckley's car moving around a little bit under him now. Of a lot, isn't it, as he gets on the power? But it did get him a couple of lengths on Blackburn that he didn't have before. Is that smoke? No, hopefully it's just water from Blackburn. I think he went offline there and it's just a little bit of spray from the wet track. Kenny closes down. He's very late in the breaks into 7A every lap, but he struggled a little bit the last few laps to get back on the power. Let's watch this one. Buckley's car moving around a lot under him as well, but he does get away by a length or two when they get on the power there. Then it's Jack Byrne, then it's Owen Kelly, and a big gap to what I think would be Colin Reilly leading the C runners. Next up, he's got ahead of Charlie Hart. They're a good bit back though. They're another 3 seconds back. Sorry, they're 11 seconds back from this group. Buckley easing away through that Bahrain's Bend. Yeah, waved yellows. Is that one of the leaders? Who's that off? And it's still Hannon, is it? Yeah. That car not in a great place on the outside of the long left-hander, but that's not for me to judge. The officials will have a look at that. Certainly I think it's just bogged down in the inside of the gravel trap. So waved yellows there at the final corner, Southside Motor Factors. Somebody off on the outside, just right under our camera, I suspect, as Blackburn looks to the outside. That's going to give us a red flag. Indeed it does. The race is stopped. Red flag because that incident's outside Motor Factors. So car in the gravel, and a good call there because that's right in the line of fire, for want of a better word. Yeah. So coming to rest now, down on the grid. So 5 minutes 57 to go. That means we will be going back. Just 60% of the race completed. Timing.ie have a little symbol down at the bottom left, which I used to think was battery charge. It looks like it, but just 60% of the race had gone, which means we probably will have a restart in that one. I know we've had a couple of delays already during qualifying this morning, so the officials very keen to get stuff done as efficiently as possible. But the leaders are not, are they on the grid? They should probably come around to the back. I think they're still out on circuit. Okay, so a couple of things, a little bit of housekeeping. It will be a 3-minute restart, I'm told, to my earpiece here. And also there was a slight glitch on the Facebook share for the live stream, so there's a separate link. It's now sharing, but there's a new link. So if you're watching it and you have a problem, go back out, go onto the Irish Championship Circuit Racing page and you will find a new link. Or if you're sharing it on your page and you're from one of the classes, just share the new link. So there's some sort of an internet link glitch, and it did just stop playing, but we are back live streaming again. It didn't affect the YouTube one at all. That's still running on the ICCR YouTube channel. So the V's on the grid now, and a few cars being pushed around to be re-gridded, I think. You can see there at the top of the screen, there's Ronan Doherty and Jordan Kelly. Red flag's just been waved to show them, but they'll be well aware. They'll come back towards the front of the grid. We're going to get a restart in a 3-minute race, I'm told, in just a few minutes' time. So the cars will be re-gridded. We probably have a formation lap, and the car at the top of your screen is still being removed. So we'll just go to a commercial break again while we're waiting for this one to restart.
Opel, a proud sponsor of Irish rugby. Drive on.
So I've got a new grid for this race, and Ronan Doherty will start on pole position once again. Jordan Daly, it'll be the order, excuse me, before the red flag. So Ronan Doherty will start on pole with a little bit of work to do. Oh no, Colin Blackburn's car is off on the right hand side. Look at that, you can just see it on the right hand side of your shot there. That's Colin Blackburn's car, one of the front runners, one of the fancied men for the Leinster Trophy later on this afternoon. So let's hope they can sort that one out. But Ronan Doherty, no such problems. He's on pole position. Alongside him, Jordan Kelly, 99. Both highly accomplished drivers, these guys. As I said earlier, they've won in Formula V, they've won on Sims, they've won in Formula Ford 1600. So there's a lot of talent in Formula V. And there's no mistake in that one. Dan Polly, as we said, not a little bit rusty despite not being around in a long, long time. And alongside him is Gavin Buckley, another seasoned V campaigner, always goes well. Then a gap where Colin Blackburn should be. But look over there beside the Infinite Energy sign on the right hand side, you can just see the back wheel of the black Leastone. So hopefully they'll get that sorted later on. Then Jack Byrne in the Abbey Lawn car. Jack Byrne was missing from the grids for a while after a big shunt in Bishopscourt, but got the chassis repaired and got back out. Always a feisty campaigner, has been racing in V since he was 16 years old. He was one of the first people to come motor racing actually when the age came down from 17 to 16. His father, Ger Byrne, also an experienced V racer. And then it is Owen Kelly in the red car. He was going well before that, before the stoppage. Watch out for Conor Melia. Conor Melia in the Martini liveried car with his hand in the air there. He was leading the Star of Tomorrow's runners in that race. So he's on row 4. Very distinctive car. Then behind him will be Charlie Hart, another distinctive car and his major rival in this one for the Star of Tomorrow. And then Vinny Keogh, beautiful, the Red Bull livery car, looks absolutely fantastic and very easy to spot from a commentary point of view, or Andrew Keogh I should say. Then Eamon Thornton, Robert Fleming, Niall O'Mara, Paul Lewis in the distinctive orange car. That's the Tim Murray modified Leastone shape, looks great with the pointy nose, very easy to spot as well. Then Simon Rudd, another one of the Newsom racing cars. Adam McNamara, and former junior racer in a Newsom racing car as well, the white Shane with the no nose on that car. Then it is Finn Gillespie who gets another bite at it this time round. Seemed to stall on the grid, or the car just wouldn't pull off. Colin Lewis alongside him. Then it's Oliver Devlin, I think, next up, and we're missing one or two. No Ger Byrne, obviously, no Stephen Hannon, no Kieran Hannon. So just a 3-minute race, a sprint. What'll that be, 2 laps? One warm-up lap. There it is on the screen, just at the starter's gantry there, as Fergus Brennan walks back towards his towards the screen. Here's Ger Byrne actually running up the pit lane. You can see him there. He's looking to support Jack. Obviously, this is just the warm-up lap, just a green flag lap. They're not going for some reason, but starter waving the flag furiously. Away they go. Ronan Doherty getting plenty of wheel spin and weaving around. Hopefully they're all away cleanly. They are, including Finn Gillespie. Finn works in Mondello Park. during the weekend races here at the weekends. He's had loads of pace in this Start Tomorrow series, but just no luck this year. I think he's on his 3rd or 4th engine, and they've built one himself and his dad, Kevin Gillespie. They get a little bit of help from Paul Heavey as well, I think, in Leastone. There'll be a big connection going back between Kevin Gillespie and Leastone, and raced in the UK quite successfully years ago, and he would have they would have always used Leastones. I think they raced the Formula Ford in Monoposto many years ago and won a class championship before Paul built his own Formula 1000 cars. So, second warm-up lap of the day for Formula V's. Tubular space frame chassis, flat 4 air-cooled engines. So they're a little bit hard to get, these engines, but they build them. If you get them well built, they're pretty reliable. They give a lot of power. These cars, great fun to drive, great balance in the chassis. And Formula V, over the last number of years, has produced some incredible drivers. So a long lap, again, green flag lap, and just a 3-minute race for these Formula Vs now. So it literally is a sprint to the flag. Now, the conditions have changed a little bit, got drier just a little bit since the last race. In fact, you can see it there on screen. Look at that dry line developing through 7B, and that will make a difference, because you'll notice even in 4th gear they were beginning to move around just a little bit and squirm and struggle for traction. That mightn't be an issue now. They should have much more grip. So fingers crossed they will start setting some representative times, because it's going to be dry for the Leinster Trophy race surely later on. There's no forecast of any more rain. Famous last words from the commentator, of course. It probably will rain, just because I've said that. So 3 different classes in this race. The main class up front, the B class for slightly less experienced drivers, and then the star of tomorrow, the C class for novices, and that was being led before the stop by Conor Melia in the Martini liveried car. But he was closely pursued by Charlie Hart, and hoping to get in the mix will be Finn Gillespie this time round, the Mondello man, if he can get that car off the grid. That's Owen Kelly shaking the car around a little bit left to right there. So Doherty comes down to the grid to take up pole position once again. Kelly on the outside. Blackburn must have got back across to the pit lane. I don't see him up on the bank, but his car is there. It'll be heartbreaking for him to watch this one. Little bit of conversation between Doherty and his pit crew there over the wall, but I think everybody's okay. No hands in the air. We should be all good. Fingers crossed they can all get away clean. A yellow flag comes in, and at the back of the grid, Colin Lewis, I think that is lining up, and 1 or 2 more Gillespie, and they're coming into their positions with no problem at all, so we should be good to go. Second gear starts in these Formula Vs. Rev them as hard as you can and literally sidestep the clutch and then straight into 3rd gear. You can hear the revs rising. Watch the lights of the BMW bridge, and away we go. And it's a great start from Doherty once again. It's Groundhog Day. There's no changes. They head down to turn 1. Doherty's got it there he's clearly ahead. In fact, nothing Kelly can do except pull in behind him. Polly in 3rd place, Buckley in 4th place. Then it's Jack Byrne, Kelly again. Then it's Keogh down the outside in the Red Bull liveried car. Then it's Melia, still has held off just about Hart. I think Charlie Hart, indeed he has. Let's watch out for Gillespie in that one. It's important as well. That championship coming to its end, the C championship. Simon Rudd, Adam McNamara in there as well. So we will keep an eye on them. Oh, look at that, a big run through the first apex of turn 3 from Kelly. He's very brave through that bit. Can he get it stopped? He can. Doesn't get to the apex, but he comes out right with Doherty, so it wasn't pretty, but it worked. He's got around turn 3 and he's right on the gearbox now at Doherty as they come back towards the main arena again. Doherty holds the inside line. Kelly's not afraid to look around the outside. He's not afraid to look at the gravel trap either, is he? Right out to the outside. But once again, he gets good speed off the corner. This is not conventional stuff from the Donegal man. He's trying everywhere looking for grip and traction. Slippery surface flag being shown at the top of the hill. That's Hart leading that 4 abreast, typical Formula V stuff. Did Doherty put a wheel off there? He's opposite lock as he comes round Lola corner. Look at the 2 different techniques here, because Kelly is searching everywhere for grip and he's not finding it all the time. A lot of opposite lock for both of them, but once again Doherty just beginning to ease away as they head down towards 7A and B. Hard on the brakes down to 3rd gear. Kelly later on the brakes. Too late in the brakes a little bit, right out to the outside again, exploring the limits of the Mondello Park surface today. If he goes any wider, next time he'll have to pay to get back in. Kelly really having a go there. He's all over the place down at 7A and B, but he's always been like that. He has lovely car control. It's great to watch, but he's firing this car around. And the reason he's trying everywhere is because he doesn't want to let Doherty get away. But Doherty's driving a more conventional racing line, and it seems to be working for him. He looks very comfortable and composed out front. That's probably a second and a half gap, and they haven't got back onto the national circuit yet. Polly again in third place, way ahead of anybody else. Then it's Buckley, then it's Kelly, then Byrne, then Keogh. Let's see who's leading the rookies when they come into view. It is still going to be Melia, I think. Buckley's gone wide in the background there at the top of our screen, but no such problems for Doherty. 43 seconds on the clock, so this will start their last lap. It is going to be a sprint. Doherty weaving around there looking for grip, looking in his mirrors. Kelly's still there. Owen Kelly right round the outside of Buckley there. That's a good move to take that fourth place away. And it's Jack Byrne. Andy Keogh. Eamon Thornton goes through. Paul Lewis right under the back bumper of Charlie Hart there. Back bumper, back gearbox I should say. There's no back bumpers on these cars. I've been commentating on too many saloon cars. Somebody rotating at the final corner, but it's not affecting the leaders. They're already out of turn 3. Double apex right-hander. Quick spinner but rejoining, so no problem, no yellows. All the rescue vehicles are back in the pit lane. They've been getting plenty of mileage today. So here comes the leader. It's absolute dominance at this stage, isn't it? Not even Jordan Kelly, and we know how quick Kelly is, but not even Kelly can do anything about Doherty. It's Donegal, it's a Ballymena man leading the Donegal man at this stage. Final lap coming up on our screen there on the Beacon Hospital live stream. So this is really a warm-up for the Leinster Trophy race later on, the big one. It's the most famous trophy in Irish motorsport, and one of these guys is going to win it. Look at Dan Polly again, right round the outside, searching for grip. Hasn't quite got the ultimate pace in this race of those two guys, but he looks very composed. There hasn't been any opposite lock from Dan Polly. That's something I don't like saying, because as soon as you say it, the driver invariably fires it off. And Doherty, for the first time, goes right out over the curbing, and indeed so does Kelly. Both very wide at 7A, but gather it all up for 7B. They're coming back towards. Now that gap was 1.7 seconds. It doesn't look like 1.7 seconds to me as they're coming back towards. It's not. Kelly's definitely closer this time round. Through Bahrain's bends, named after Martin Bahrain, through the right, through the left, and back down to the long left-hander before they come back towards us. A cleaner run through there gives Doherty a few more lengths, but certainly out on the loop that time Kelly was quicker, and it closed him down a little bit. Checkered flag is prepared. It's wet, but it's prepared below us. Here comes Doherty down towards Nordic Spirit corner for the final time, up over that inside curb. They don't take as much as they normally do, and they stay away from the exit curb because the curbs here are like glass if it's wet. Hard on the brakes now, down to third gear for the last time. Doherty gets it turned in. Doesn't go for an apex again. Confidently sits right round the outside, looking for the best traction. Kelly is closer. This will be fastest lap of the 2-lap race, I would imagine, for Kelly. Some solstice from that one. Hand in the air. Ronan Doherty takes the win. Great stuff. Jordan Kelly right there. He does do fastest lap on the way back. He's 4/10 quicker than Doherty, so he finishes second. Dan Polly for LOH Motorsport on his return to Formula V takes third place. Then Owen Kelly, a good run to fourth place and pretty quick too. And it's Buckley and Byrne. Then it's Thornton next up. He's made a place on the final lap, got ahead of Andy Keogh. So what about the rookies? Oh, it's changed around, hasn't it? It's going to be hard. Where is the Martini liveried car? We don't see it, or do we? Keogh, Fleming. Yeah, we don't see Amelia. So Charlie Hart, his first rookie home. Amelia had led that one all the way through there. Is that O'Mahony next up? No, Amelia has gone through, second in the rookies. McNamara third. Then Finn Gillespie, car sounding a little bit rough, perhaps in fourth place in the rookies. So great stuff from Formula V Ireland. Good battles all the way down the field, and everybody, I think, getting to the end. So checkered flags. That's our Formula V race. We will, of course, be seeing them back for the biggest race of the weekend later on this afternoon, the Leinster Trophy. Well, next up is going to be the Siltex Safety Formula V Championship race. The V's just crossing the line now. Simon Rudd, Colin Lewis coming through. Colin Lewis very slowly, obviously some sort of a problem with that car. Doesn't sound too strong as he goes across the line there. And that, I think, is all our finishes in Formula V. So next up is going to be the Budget Tin Tops. The Siltex Safety Fiesta Zetecs Championship will be on the grid shortly. There's your results. Formula V A, Ronan Doherty, Jordan Kelly takes second, Dan Polly third place, Owen Kelly, Gavin Buckley, Jack Byrne, Eamon Thornton, Andy Keogh, Robert Fleming and Niall O'Mara. That's your top 10, and the winners in A are obviously Ronan Doherty. It's just disappeared off my screen there. It's like that, it always happens, doesn't it? The B winner though was Owen Kelly, and he had a great run, and the C winner was Charlie Hart on the last lap, taking that one away. So that'll help his championship aspirations too. We'll have a look at them later on today. But great stuff from Formula V as they warm up for their Leinster Trophy event later on. So I don't know if there are any recoveries. I don't think. Oh, I do see some flashing lights out in the loop. Everything I say goes wrong today, doesn't it? I do see one flashing light. So obviously somebody's got to be hauled back in, and there it is. It's Oliver Devlin's car. He's choosing his moment to star on the telly. He's going to get a tow back in now, Oliver, and then that will be us ready to go. In fact, they're already being released down the pit lane. The Neil Murphy leading them in the Zetecs safety pace car van, as we'll be getting ready to go in just a few minutes' time. So just as we're getting ready to go with Zetecs, our second microphone's not working, so we'll have to share a microphone here. But there's not one but two celebrities in the commentary box today, because I'm being joined by Lee McKenzie. Lee, what are you doing at Mondello Park?
Well, a lot of people have been asking me that. I think they expected me to be in Azerbaijan for Formula One. I do go to Singapore on Tuesday, but I'm actually here to support Danny Mullins in this class, which is about to go out now. So I love it. This is where I started. I love the sort of seeing the grassroots, the people that do this week in, week out, who have aspirations to go on to bigger and better things. This is what a day at Mondello or any of these tracks is like, and it's just such a pleasure to be back here. I was last here for British Superbikes years ago. So yeah, it's nice to be back here.
Is Mondello not a little bit clubby for you when you used to go to these swanky circuits all around the world?
No, this is it's what I say. This is where people come out, have a hobby, or have aspirations to go on and do bigger and better things. So I do love it. I've never been happier when I was sitting in the rain with a bacon roll and a coffee this morning, but maybe that's a Scottish thing.
Fantastic. Well, it's great to have you here, and I know you're going to come down onto the grid to say hello to the junior mini drivers later. They were all excited about that one. A little bit unfair on Danny because horrendous conditions this morning, and these Zetecs, there's a little bit of an art to driving them anyway, but certainly in wet conditions they've only got a track day tyre, so he struggled a little bit because he was very quick here in testing a few weeks ago. Yeah,
absolutely. And what I really admire about Danny is that he's at the top of his game when it comes to being a jockey, and very few athletes would then go to another sport which makes them look a little bit more vulnerable, but he's very happy to show that because he just loves this so much. It's funny because he did some rally driving and I was a co-driver in several rounds of the World Rally Championship. I'm not brave enough to sit alongside him, but I'm very happy to come here to support him.
It's funny how the parallels, Lee, are, because we've had a couple of... Eric Holstein is a famous Irish show jumper years ago, and he came into motorsport and won 6 championships, and he maintained that the balance and that can help you. And I was listening to Danny talking about stuff that he wouldn't have known anything about before, lift-off oversteer and keeping the lock off the car, and he clicked into that sort of stuff very quickly.
Yeah, I think there's a sort of risk and reward thing which goes across all motorsport and all equestrian sports, and there is such a a big crossover. You look at racing drivers, whether it be Riccardo Patrese, has loads of horses, Michael Schumacher, loads of horses. So there is a real a sort of crossover from the two sports. It must be something to do with risk and reward.
Every day's a school day. I didn't know Riccardo Patrese had loads of horses.
He's got a lot of horses, yeah. The number of people just walk up to me in Formula One because I've got lots of horses, and all they want to do is talk about horses, and then when I come here everybody else wants to talk about Formula One.
Good stuff. Well, we're almost ready to go. They're being released from the pit lane there, and you met Neil Murphy, of course, our Zetecs safety sponsor. He's the most enthusiastic sponsor in the world. He's like a class coordinator as well.
But this is the great thing about this. Actually, walking around this paddock, I have met so many people, loads of people who used to work in A1GP, John O'Hara, and people that sort of didn't expect me to be here, but they stick around forever, just like me. They can't get rid of me even if they wanted to. So this is what it's all about, and you need sponsors like that as well, because they're the ones that make days like this happen.
Brilliant. Well, it's fantastic to have you here. There's Danny, just good, perfect timing, just going through picture. And we were saying we met Neil Murphy earlier. We presented him with that little Fiesta Zetecs van. We uncovered it live on air and frightened the life out of him. And he's allowed to do safety car. He was a bit worried about the not being quick enough in the wet conditions. So we told him he's got bigger wheels than the race cars, and he should have special, like Days of Thunder. We've got specially matched tyres on the car. So that's him leading them round. But he is just so delighted to be leading them round. His daughter's into the horses a little bit, Emma, and she's in awe of the fact that Danny's here. So he's having a great time. He got photos taken with Danny and everything, so it's lovely.
Between horses and cars, you sound like a man that spends a lot of money.
Yeah, well, don't we all? Yeah, honestly, yeah. That's what they say. If you want to make a fortune out of a small fortune out of racing cars, start with a big fortune. Isn't that what they say? So yeah, it's a big grid, this one, Lee. It used to be around $2.5 grand. The cars are a little bit better prepared. There's a few teams involved now, and they're a little bit dearer than that, but they're still very, very cheap. They don't cost anything to run. They don't run a racing shock absorber, just a lowering spring and a set of track day tyres. So they've probably enticed loads of people out of the grandstand, which is great for our sport over here.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see that, I've been looking at the track as well, and there's not many dry patches, even though it's not rained for quite a while. So I don't know how that works with the tyres. My advice to Danny was, don't go on painted curbs, don't go on grass, don't go on gravel. Keep it on the black stuff. I mean, that's
absolutely spot on. Yeah, well, it's like you're a Mondello expert by saying that sort of stuff. He said to me quite calmly earlier that I had a bit of a skid or a slide, and it went across the white line in the grass, but he said the stones stopped it and it came back on, and I was going, that's obviously the gravel trap he visited this morning.
I spend my life interviewing drivers, and I've just almost heard every driver excuse that there is, and I'm just going to file that one under his name. So
brilliant. Well, it's great to have you here. We'll go through the grid, or we go through the championship standings actually before they get to the grid, because it is coming close to championship time for these, and it couldn't be closer. Have a look at that. Dave Maguire, one of the young chargers, 101 points. The other young charger, Sean McGovern, also 101 points. William Kellett, former champion, 98 points. Then Jason O'Connell, last year's rookie champion, 2 years ago rookie champion, now right at the front. Peter Barrable, as quick as anyone in the paddock. A small problem in the car. He was hoping for some more rain. His lambda sensor was giving him a little bit of a misfire. Came back in qualifying and he wasn't happy. Andy Kavanagh, hugely experienced. Mick Keogh, Mick's been in the top 6 a couple of times this year. If you get 6th place in this race, you'll get pole for race 2, and that will come into it towards the end. That's the place you want if you're not going to win for race 2, if you want to get maximum points. So Neil Murphy leads them now through Nordic Spirit Corner and up towards the pit lane. He'll peel off into the pit lane and they will come down, led by McGovern. It's Sean McGovern, of course, another second generation racer. Here he is weaving around. Great to watch these young kids fire the cars around, and hopefully a few of them will graduate, having cut their teeth in this class, and be Fiesta Zetecs ambassadors in different classes. But McGovern and Jason O'Connell are on pole position. Jason O'Connell, very quick driver, and was immediately quick when he came in as a rookie. No surprise to see him on the front row. William Kellett, great motorsporting family from Kells, of course, very well known to us. His dad, Alistair Kellett, and has won many championships in Ireland, and racing still competitively in the UK. And William with great car control. Peter Barrable from the Barrable dynasty in Swords alongside him. Mark O'Donoghue, great to see Mark O'Donoghue back. He's driving, that's the Delta Airlines car, isn't it, for want of a better word? It's the Mulready car. So he's changed to that one for this weekend, car number 23. Then 2 is Dave Maguire, championship leader, back a little bit further than he would like. Dave Maguire's got a little bit of work to do in the Jerry Maguire and Sons car. And Kelsey Kirby, great qualifying from Kelsey. She's been in the top 10 all year, and she's moving forward slightly. She's not far away from clipping a 6th place finish and getting herself a pole position in race 2, and that was her aim for going forward into next year, she had said, because she's progressed as far as the top 10 this year. Kelsey works in Mondello Park as an instructor in most of the activities here. She's down here quite a lot, does a lot of work in the car herself, and away they go. And it's Peter Barrable with the best start from the outside the front row, down towards turn 1. Barrable on the outside now. Can he get across the bows? He can. What a cracking start from the Swordsman. Absolutely brilliant stuff. He just nailed it. He matched revs to grip to perfection, and he's gone by the 2 front row men. He's down into 2nd gear, and he leads them through Castrol Corner for the first time. So it's Barrable, it's McGovern, it's Kellett, O'Connell, Maguire with a good start. Then it looks like Mark O'Donoghue. Indeed it is Mark O'Donoghue. Then Alan Dawson, and is that the Mondello Park car up alongside them? Mondello bought a car for team building for their workshop guys, and it's up there somewhere. The Mondello Park car well inside the top 10. This is great stuff. But it is Barrable who's leading this one. Leading it nicely. There's the Mondello car around the outside, side by side with Mick Keogh. Kelsey Kirby still in the mix there as well. So look at this, Kellett looking down the outside of McGovern, but Barrable 1 or 2 lengths clear already as they come back down towards us. We're all still going, so no problems just yet for the Siltec safety cars, right out to the edge of the track and up the international loop for the first time. Let's see if McGovern can make any moves on Barrable. If Barrable has this problem, this small misfire that he spoke about, we'll see it on the back straight. He goes a little bit defensive on the way through Lola corner. Yeah, he goes very defensive there. Let's see if McGovern can get up the inside. If Barrable's got a problem, this is where we'll see it. They're side by side, I think, on the back straight as Maguire tries to get the run. Yeah, McGovern's just driven up alongside Barrable there. Don't think there's anything Barrable can do about that as they head down towards 7A and B, and McGovern just gets on the brakes. Gets the job done. Kellett trying to get there too, but goes wide way too late in the brakes. Going to cost him a place, is it? No, they're teammates, so they won't come together there. Let's look back down through them just a little bit. That's Dawson dropping back a little bit, and Kelsey Kirby and Mick Keogh door to door at 7B. McGovern with a good lead now. He's getting away already on the way up the hill. Good battles all the way down the field here. Oh, sideways stuff from Barrable. Touch of opposite lock at Bahrain's Benz. Hangs onto it beautifully. Right in over the curb. Somebody else a little bit wide there. That might have been Dawson in the background. Some green bumpered car just going a little bit wide at 7A. That's who it was. Mick Keogh next up, then Kelsey Kirby in the background, then Andy Kavanagh and Eduardo Gonzaga, the Brazilian driver. Then it is Darren Lawler in the Mondello Park car, and all the rest coming streaming through. We'll name check them. We'll check where the rookies are and where Danny is when they come across the line, of course. Hard on the brakes into Southside. Motor Factory's corner at the end of lap 1. Barrable looking for grip on the outside there, as the leader goes right in and gets an apex, takes a more conventional line. Danny Mullins not at the back anyway. He's got by one or two of them. You can see him off screen. There they are at Southside, all beginning to come through. Where are the rookies? Oh, big battles, 3-4 abreast going by us here. Gonzaga, Josh Brown, Daly goes through, Mick McCardle, all the rest, great stuff. There's Danny Mullins' white car with the blue bumpers now, and he's got by all those cars behind. Let's see where he is when he goes by. He's in 19th place. He's up 3 places from where he qualified, so not a bad first lap for Danny Mullins, and he's way ahead. Somebody getting hooked up, I think, on the main straight there. I saw a car, just a flash of a car with massive opposite lock on the main straight, which is not what you want to see coming onto the bridge, but whoever it was, they've held onto it nicely. Might have been Adam O'Mahony, actually. There's Liv Corcoran going through in the Corcoran's crash repair car. But it's McGovern, Barrable and Kellett now. A little bit spaced out as they go by us. Let's see who's leading the rookies. Mark Daly, and leading it well. Mark Daly in 14th place. Sam Doyle in 2nd. Alex McCann in 3rd. Then Michael Moynihan. And then Danny Mullins. So Danny is up to 5th in the rookies now. He was, I think he was 7th, 8th in the rookies in qualifying, perhaps. So he's moved up a couple of places. He'd love a rookie podium, no doubt. They do get a podium. They get their own prizes, the rookies. So if he can get 2 more scalps before this one is over, he might have been worth an each way bet. It's closing up front, isn't it? Oh, look at that. Maguire floating the car around under him. Waved yellows, though. Waved yellows in the background. See it there. And that's a car stopped. Not sure whose car that is. A red car stopped on the inside. Is that Barrable? No, there's Barrable on screen, so it's not him. There it is. Oh, it's Toby Maguire, is it? 973. That's a shame. Toby Maguire, junior rallycross champion, rookie series leader. He's not going to get any points today. I think he said he had a gearbox problem. That's a shame. Talented young driver, Toby Maguire. Here comes, speaking of talented young drivers, here comes McGovern, Peter Barrable, then Kellett. This will work well for the championship for McGovern, not so much for Maguire, who's trying really hard in the background. And it's O'Connell who's dropped back just a little bit opposite lock for him as he gets through the second bit of Bahrain's Benz. Keeps the shoe in though in 3rd gear and pulls it back straight. Sideways behind him as well for Mark O'Donoghue in 6th place, number 23. That car's been tidied up a lot since we last saw it. Looks well. Aidan Mulready drove it, a rookie, and went really well. He's a Delta Airlines pilot. He commutes to Mondello from America to race that car, but he hasn't managed to make it on this occasion. So Mark Donoghue deputising for him as they go up on the brakes then into turn 1. Into the final corner, I should say, and Kellett trying to get up the inside of Barrable. Barrable's not looking uber defensive as they go back towards us. Big battles all the way back the grid. If you look at the top of the screen there, look at that. Coming out onto the main straight, Kelsey Kirby and Mick Keogh still having a go. Oh, and off screen, a big lunge up the inside by Danny Mullins. Exactly what he was told not to do, but he's managed to make it work, and he's made it place. There he is, top of the screen. That's Barrable and Kellett now out of turn 3, still very greasy. There's Maguire, O'Connell, the Mulready car, as we said, with Mark O'Donoghue driving it today. They're all streaming through, and Eduardo Gonzaga backwards off and into the gravel. That could give us a safety car. He's in the firing line, make no mistake. At the apex, at first apex of turn 3. Waves yellows out there. Let's keep an eye on that one. As they went by us last time, Danny Mullins was up another place. He's into 18th place now and 4th in the rookies. So one more place and he'll get himself a podium. Oh, somebody very sideways again. That's in the background. Not sure who that is, but someone getting way, way out of shape. That is, I think that might have been Mark O'Donoghue. It was Mark O'Donoghue in the background. He just put 2 wheels in the gravel but pulled it back straight, I think, as we're down there. Look at McGovern is driving away. Kellett can't get by Barrable just yet. Safety car is out. Safety car is being dispatched. Thought that might happen. That is going to pack them all up again and will give Danny Mullins a chance to make up a place or two. Danny Mullins is right on the tail of Michael Moynihan, number 86. In fact, he was just 3/10 behind him as they went across the line the last time. If he can get by Moynihan and get himself a rookie podium, won't be easy though. These rookies all drive hard and fight hard, but a rookie podium for the famous jockey on his race debut would be pretty impressive stuff. I know Neil Murphy would like that. He doesn't favour drivers, but certainly the PR associated to him will help Siltec safety no end if that man gets up on the podium. So safety cars out there, the BMW Ireland M2, and they're all beginning to weave around to try and get some semblance of heat to remain in these Nankang track day tyres that they use. So here they come. There's Danny Mullins just coming down into turn 1. White car, blue bumpers. There he goes, just going through. He's not driving like a rookie at all, but he's in great form, but I think he's taking it a little bit more seriously maybe than his demeanour would suggest, because he's going to be competitive by nature. He's done a rally before. We only found that out last week. We did a bit of research on him, and in an R2 car, and he won his class at the Wexford Rally in 2022. So he's not a complete stranger to being behind the wheel, but that's his total motorsport experience. Dave McGuire knows him well and got him down here to test the car a few weeks ago, and he was immediately quick and hanging on to some of the front runners in the dry conditions. But there's a little bit of technique to these cars. You can't adjust the suspension on them, you can't soften it off, you can't loosen off roll bars, and you can't fit wet tyres, so they can be a little bit of a handful. It was very, very wet this morning, and Danny was well down the grid, but he's made great progress here. And let's just check where he is. The leading rookie is Mark Daly. Mark Daly's car, another Martini liveried car, beautifully turned out car, and there's a man would love to stand on top of the rookie podium. Mark Daly, number 53. He's 13th overall and leading rookies. Second rookie is Sam Doyle. We know how quick Sam is. There he is in the JPS livery car, weaving around the black car with the gold livery. But I think, right, is Danny Mullins right behind? He is. Danny Mullins up to 3rd in rookies on that just before the safety car, so he's in a podium position here. He's got ahead of Michael Moynihan, so up to 16th overall now is Danny Mullins, car number 63. So he could get himself a podium in this one. There he is there, centre of the screen, that white car, blue bumpers. It got the big clean up yesterday from young Dave McGuire. I think the scrutineers were inspecting it. It was a little bit, it had been through the wars when it arrived down to Mondello on Thursday, but young Dave McGuire got at it yesterday, made himself a very good TikTok video while he was doing it, but got the car an awful lot better looking, and it flew through scrutiny this morning. So great stuff from Danny Mullins, who was blissfully unaware, no doubt of all that. There's Kelsey Kirby going nicely still. She's still inside the top 10. That's where she wants to be. That's her aim this year, to get top 10 finishes. She's managing it. She's 9th overall now. So 5 minutes to go, so we should have a few racing laps. Safety car still showing, but that car's being towed in. I can see it out the window off screen. So that car should be able to come in the back gate. In fact, I think the lights are off. The officials doing a great job here. The safety car hasn't even got to the back gate. They're in touch by radio with the safety car. The lights are off, and we're going to go back racing at Mondello Park. So the BMW Ireland safety car will put the foot down as it does now, and then the leader dictates the pace. There's Danny Mullins, wipers still on, he's turned them off. He needs to be right on the bumper of the car in front. That's exactly what he's doing. And that's Sam Doyle, the second rookie. So he's challenging now for second place in the rookies here. So a straight battle in this one with probably 2 or 3 laps to go. Watch this, the leader's still weaving around. He decides when to go back to racing pace, remember. So he's going to try and get the jump on everybody. Andy Kavanagh with a massive gap. I'm surprised at Andy. You need to be on the back bumper of the car in front. Here they come back through the main, through the last corner. Southside Motor Factors out onto the main straight. second gear up to third gear. They're all pretty close together. Andy's cost himself a little bit of length maybe there, but he got back up close enough. Danny Mullins, reasonable restart, and he's still on the tail of that black car in front. If he can get by that one, which won't be easy, he'll get himself up to second place, but he's currently third in the rookies with 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go. McGovern leads, Barrable second, Kellan in third place. Maguire looks more comfortable this time, and he's in it. He's on Kellett's back bumper at Campion Corner. And in fact, he looks better. Maybe the conditions are a little bit drier. Was he struggling early on? Just didn't look as racy. He looks very good here and putting the pressure on William Kellett. Whereas Barrable again closing down, and Barrable looks down the inside for the lead. Closing the door very late is McGovern. I'm not sure if he knew Barrable was coming there, but Barrable certainly backed out of it, and we know McGovern has great car control, so no issues for anyone. He floors it and pulls it back straight as they come back up towards us. So good battles up front now. McGovern, Barrable, Kellett. So McGovern, Barrable, Kellett, Maguire right in it now. He needs this for the championship. The LOH Motorsport team will be far happier with this one. Then it's O'Connell. Then it's O'Donoghue. And Dawson heading up the grid. Oh, big moment there, just coming into shot for Mullins. Gets out of shape. Didn't cost him a place just yet, or did it? Oh, it's cost him 3 or 4, maybe heading up the hill. It's 3 abreast as they head up the hill. So my spotter, Lee, tells me now that the car in front of him went around. It's great to have a celebrity spotter in the commentary box. The car in front went around and he had to back out of it. It's cost him a load of places, and it's probably cost him a podium unless he can come back. There's Phil Lawless rejoining. Phil just inspecting the grass there. Worked at Mondello for many, many years. He's in the Zetecs safety car. But it's very close up front. We'd love to go back and have a look at the rookies, but it's too close up front at the minute. Oh, they're all over the place. Somebody got off on the outside. Danny Mullins is out cutting grass on the outside, but he gets back in around the outside. He's really having a go here. Somebody off, Josh Brown on the outside, and again, not a great place to park. We could have a safety car here. Should be able to get going. Mick Keogh onto his side and over onto his roof. Mick Keogh's just gone over. There's definitely going to be a safety car now. Just dug into the gravel. So that's probably one of the cleanest cars on the grid, gone right over there. Just when it's all closing up at the front, the red flag is out. Red flag is out, going to go back a lap. We've done 86% of the race. That's going to be called a result, and I think Danny Mullins is going to get himself a podium because it'll go back a lap. So let's wait and see. He's still out there, still going nicely, but yeah, just all gone a little bit mad there on that lap. Mick Keogh just slid it. That can happen, low speed stuff. Just the kind of back of the car gets loose into the gravel, digs in and around. We have that one on replay, so let's have a look back at what happened to Mick Keogh in the Donegan Auto Services car. Here we are. Oh, big tank slapper. Oh, that's a real Zetec pendulum, left to right and left to right into the gravel. Mick just digs in. Oh, he's only just finished polishing that car. It's the cleanest car in the grid. Well, not anymore. Over he goes. Such a shame. Mick worked so hard on that car. Look how clean it is underneath. He won't like me saying that, but it's absolutely immaculate. Low speed roll and into the gravel and grass. It'll probably be, it's probably not serious damage. That's very easy for me to say, but I'm not sure we'll see that car out in race 2. Teleporter already on the way out there, rescue units on the way out there, but he'll be absolutely fine. That's a low speed incident, and just the roll element of it was very unlucky. It should have just dug in, but that's quite easy to happen. You get lift off oversteer in these cars quite a lot. As soon as you lift, the back end moves around left to right. There's Mick Keogh out of the car. He's absolutely fine. He was driving our safety car yesterday. The irony is not lost on us. But Mick Keogh, a driver that's worked so hard on his own fitness and on the car, and has moved forward and moved forward and moved forward in terms of pace to get well inside the top 10 and then generally inside the top 6. That's got him to pole position a couple of times already this year. So he'll be more worried about he's very fond of that car. He puts a lot of love into it, and he'll be more worried about the car than he will about himself. But he's absolutely fine. He was out of the car straight away, helmet off and walking around. So no problem for Mick, but the car maybe not so much. You might see that car out for race 2, who knows? They'll get that car back up and back into the paddock shortly anyway, and the cars are gridded up, but there was only 1 minute 50 to go, and we had 86% I think of the race completed, so I think that one will probably be called. So we have got a result, so let's have a look at that on screen. It's going to be called the result. Mick Keogh absolutely fine. He's up and around. Sean McGovern takes the win. It's a result. Peter Barrable second place. William Kellett takes third, and Dave Maguire takes fourth. So a championship reshuffle after that one will put McGovern into a lead. He was a joint lead. He'd be clearly in the lead now. Then Jason O'Connell, Mark O'Donoghue, Alan Dawson, Mick Keogh, Kelsey Kirby inside the top 10 once again. She'd be delighted with that one. And Darren Lawler rounds out the top 10 in the Mondello Park team building car. Good effort for him. That's the black car with the door open, just pulling away. Now that means that our rookies are going to be Mark Daly takes the win, Sam Doyle takes second, and Danny Mullins takes third, takes a rookie podium. He'll be delighted with that one. So he will stand on the podium. He'll get himself a bottle of something, no doubt, and so he'll get himself a trophy as well on his first race. So fantastic. But Mark Daly, a great run. P13 overall to take that rookie win in that Martini livery car. These conditions obviously suiting Mark Daly, because he was right in it for the whole lot. He was well ahead of those the other drivers, just ahead of Mick McArdle, Sam Doyle, Danny Mullins right on Sam Doyle's bumpers, then Moynihan and McCann right in there too. So very close, very, very close with the rookies. And we'll have championship positions updated before the next race. But we'll let them come back into the paddock, and then we'll be releasing the Alloy Repair Centre Fiesta STs. So while the Siltec Safety Fiesta Zetecs come back into the paddock and we're getting ready to release the Alloy Repair Centre Fiesta STs, we will take a quick commercial break. So here we are, the Alloy Repair Centres, Cookstown Industrial Estate. If you need your alloys, the clue is in the name, Alloy Repair Centre. So they sponsor the championship this year. The graphics look great on the cars, and they've actually bought a car as well, the guys in the Alloy Repair Centre, as well as sponsoring Ross Barnes, who leads the series. They're preparing another car, and I've seen a screenshot of it, and it looks absolutely fantastic. So hopefully for the last round, which is a month's time here at Mondello Park, we might see their car on the grid. Another beautifully prepared ST. This class is, I suppose, the faster sibling of the Fiesta Zetecs. We just saw they're a lot quicker, they're newer, they're 2-litre engines. They're very, very experienced drivers up the front with teams running them. So Roy White is a former multiple rally champion. He's very well known in Irish motorsport, and he has incredible car control. He's joined this class. He's always there or thereabouts, but a couple of wet test days, Roy has been incredibly quick, and I'm always joking when I'm doing reports and commentating that if it rains, put your money on Roy. I wasn't wrong this morning, because Roy White stuck it on pole position. A great drive from him, and just what you'd expect from him in wet conditions. Alongside him, a man that's really has deserved a result in this class is John Elliff. He was there or thereabouts last year, sold his car, built a new car. He wanted a car that he built himself, that he could run himself, and he just struggled with the new car this year. I was speaking to him at the last race meeting here. He said he didn't like it, couldn't get a grip on the setup, and then he was going to have a chat with Kevin and Luke O'Hara's in LOH Motorsport, and I think they may have given him a little bit of direction in terms of setup or done some work on the car. But whatever happened, that's more where John should be. He's on the front row, the outside row of the grid. So all that means is that the regular front runners have all been shoveled back in this one. Victor Cullen was on pole briefly. It was a wet qualifying session. He was on pole twice. Ross Barnes alongside him. I think I got a modified grid since then. And Ross is... Let me have a look. Yeah, Ross Barnes, some problem with a technical issue, I think, or a tyre log. For some reason he's at the back and he should be right at the front, and he's championship leader, so that's the car we'll be watching in this one. Ross Barnes is really quick, the car absolutely immaculate, and he will be making a charge towards the front. He's a little bit slow coming out of the pit lane. He's just out of our view. He should be ready to come down. Safety car looked like it was going to pull out. Just Ross Barnes goes through the cartel.ie machine there. A Barnes Auto House, that's Ross's business on the Rathgar Road in Dublin. He's current championship leader, but it's very, very close between him and the two Cullens, Victor Cullen and Michael Cullen. So I spoke to Michael Cullen after qualifying, asked him what the problem was with the car, and he said, I drove like a bleep. So he was very much blaming himself. He said he put his head down to try and get what he thought was going to be a quick lap, and he went straight on at turn 1. And as he said, that lost me 2.5 seconds, and it's such a long lap before you start another one in qualifying. But nobody should know that better than him. Michael Cullen has been racing around Mondello Park for, as they said, the Brennan's Bread ad says, for more years than I care to remember. He's massively experienced. He's a great yardstick for us to judge other drivers by, to measure them by. If you can run with Michael Cullen and race with Michael Cullen, you've got to be pretty good. He's a hard racer. He thinks it out. He's very good at paddock tactics as well as on-track tactics. Highly entertaining to listen to, but very, very astute racer. He knows how to win races, and he's got a little bit on his plate here. He had a bad start to the season. There were problems with the car. They ironed out those problems, and now the car's okay, and he's won the 3 of the last 4 races. So he's the man on form, but qualifying hasn't gone well for him. So Michael Cullen and Ross Barnes, a lot of work for them to do today, because people like Roy White and John Elliff are not going to hand it away. This is their chance to shine, isn't it? The biggest race meeting of the year. They're on the front row of the grid for the biggest ST grid of the year. We're up to, I think we're heading for 20 cars now, 18 maybe today, and there's a few more cars coming, a couple more people looking for cars. There are a few cars for sale. Mondello Park have recently bought a car. They're going to run some sort of incentive to put somebody into that for next year, as they'd have done with the minis already. So Mondello Park investing heavily in this new well, not new, we're year 4 I think of ICCR now, but Mondello have bought one of these cars. It's in the paddock today. There's a new ECU on the cars now, so a company called ProTune has zapped all the cars yesterday, and Mondello have invested in the equipment to read all these ECUs whenever they want. There was an outside supplier doing it before. Mondello have bought all that equipment, so the Motorsport Ireland scrutineers now have access to that. They can check any ECU on any car. I believe that tool can also be used for the Junior Minis and for the Fiesta Zetecs, which can only be good. The quality is always good, and the cream will rise to the top when that happens. So everybody seems quite happy about that. When all the cars got flashed yesterday, I think is the expression. That's not something that happens in the park. It's something that happens in Park Ferme. It's a new ECU or a new map put onto all the cars, identical on every car, so no advantage for anybody here. So you've got to be really good with your setup and really good with your driving to get to the front of this one. So Roy White and John Elliff on pole position, Victor Cullen and Ross Barnes, then Bobby Turley and Tim McQuaid, Michael Cullen and Dara McMullen, Derek Graham, first time out in an ST, Chris Grimes Jr., Trevor Ferrara, Gordon Kellett, Brendan Fitzgerald and Jack Conaghy, Charlie McKillen, Marcus Hayes, Christopher Grimes Jr. and Chris Jones. That's the older grid, of course, so Ross Barnes now moves towards the back there. They were the qualifying positions. So we're lining up and ready to go. Victor Cullen will be looking to get through that gap in the middle. So Roy White, the rally man, and John Elliff, the carter, 2 guys with very different backgrounds. Both went superbly in wet qualifying this morning. There's Niall Murray on the right-hand side. Murray's will be keen for their man Roy White to get a win here. Watch out for Tim McQuaid, to the Motor Trader. That's the green and white car on row 3 on the right-hand side. He's had a win in the wet already this year. Orange and silver car is Jack Conaghy, Dundalk driver, first time out in a Fiesta ST. Marcus Hayes, the John Hayes cars machine lining up there. The car on the right is the one you want to watch, the purple and white car there. That's Ross Barnes, the championship leader, right at the back. He won't stay there for too long. Trevor Ferrara alongside him. Christopher Grimes Sr. ahead. McKillen in the yellow car, and away they go. And they're neck and neck. Nobody getting a great start. Michael Cullen with an absolute belter. He's on Victor's tail, and he moves to the outside now as they head down towards turn 1. But it is going to be Roy White, surely. Elliff tries to go late in the brakes and round the outside. Can Michael get down the inside of Victor? Can't see which is which there as they go round turn 2. Somebody's gone ahead. It is. Michael's gone around the outside of Victor, I think, at Castrol corner and taken. Oh, they're together into each other, the 2 LOH cars. And I think Michael had to back out of that, but Victor was sent into a massive tank slapper there on the exit of Campion corner. Not a nice place to get out of shape. Here, Dad, come on, that was a bit rough. So Michael said, all right, fair enough, and backed out of it. But Victor did well to hang on. There was a lot of opposite luck there, and that's the one place at Mondello Park where there's not a lot of runoff. So there could have been there could have been a catastrophe there for those two cars. But Victor, as he's getting quicker and quicker, is not handing anything to his dad, and Michael not handing it to Victor either. That's costing them a little bit because the two front row boys are beginning to get away. Roy White leads, John Elliff in second place. Then it's Victor Cullen, Michael Cullen. And next up, is that Grimes? Let's have a look. Oh, somebody out of shape. Brendan Fitzgerald's massive wobble. That's cost him time at Lola corner as the two Cullen cars go through. And look at this, John Elliff looking a bit racy on the way down to 7A and B. Roy White containing it though. Oh, they're both gone in very late in the brakes, and Roy White's gone straight on and right off on the outside, and Elliff's got up the inside. They give each other a little bit of racing room. John Elliff leads. Turley goes off on the outside. He should be able to recover, but he's going to be right at the back. Well, it's all change around. A new leader, John Elliff. Victor Cullen having a look down the inside. Michael Cullen not staying with them just yet. Darragh McMullen coming up there too. Then it's Tim McQuaid, Brendan Fitzgerald, Gordon Kellett, I think that is next up. 76 is Derek Graham. It is great stuff. Derek Graham, well known to us here at Mondello Park, and in recent times has been a Kirkestown Fiesta Zetecs champion. This is his first race in Fiesta STs, and he's going nicely in the plain red car there. So here they come up to Southside Motor Factories for the first time. John Elliff gets it down to second gear, gets it turned in, no mistakes. Michael Cullen's had a good run through those corners. He's closed Victor down again. Now Victor is in the running for the championship, as is Michael. Victor on the inside, Michael on the outside. Slightly better exit. They are side by side now on the main straight. The two Luke O'Hara Beacon Hospital cars. Oh, Michael trying to get down the outside. Victor's no way is he handing it over late in the brakes. They're costing each other time, but that's the way it should be. There's certainly no gimmies here. Victor not letting Michael bite. I think this started when Victor sliced down the inside of Michael into Rocket Corner in Anglesey during the year, and then held on to take the win. There were no holds barred, and Michael Cullen is getting a little bit more feisty here as he sticks the nose down the inside of Victor on the way to turn 3. It's like blooding a greyhound, this, isn't it? Malcolm is very quiet beside me in the commentary box, shaking his head just a little bit. It's all getting a little bit exciting, but Victor is certainly not going to hand it away. This is probably okay for them in terms of the championship because they're both ahead of Ross Barnes, but Barnes is surely on a charge. We'll check him as he goes by. He made up 5 places in one lap. And I don't think he's going to stop just there, is he? Derek Graham next up. Derek Graham under a bit of pressure there from McMullen. McMullen pulls to the inside at Lola to try and have a look. Then it's McQuaid, Fitzgerald, Connicky, Kellett, Farrar and Grimes, I think that was, coming up the hill. All right, White with a good run through Lola corner. So Elliff is going to have to shut the door, but actually carries good speed off. But he's left the door wide open there as they go out of our view. Two Beacon cars battling away. We've just missed the change for the lead there. That was Roy White getting through on the inside. So White now leads. Apologies for that, out of shot, but it was coming down the inside. He was just a little bit quicker coming off Lola corner, got the nose down the inside, got it done on the brakes into 7A. So lead back, Roy White back in the lead for Murray Motorsport now. Then John Elliff, then Victor Cullen, Michael Cullen. Great Fiesta ST race, got to be said. Track drying out. What times are they doing? Oh no, they're way out. Track's still very, very wet. Let's have a look when they get by. Looking at sector times here, it's certainly not it's not dry just yet. Michael Cullen still trying to get by Victor. It's for championship points, of course. Victor goes to the inside. Elliff just tracking Roy White. They all get into the apex on the inside. Derek Graham is in this one too, make no mistake. He's shaking off McMullen and he's closing down Michael Cullen. Could be fastest lap here for Derek Graham, you know, when they go by us. Roy White leads. Let's see how the lap times are. Fastest lap actually to Roy White that time, 2:10.3. Derek Graham 10.3 as well, matches him. So Derek Graham quicker than all the cars ahead, as the two Beacon cars still arguing over the piece of tarmac on Castrol corner there. It's White, Elliff, Cullen, Derek Graham, Darragh McMullen, Tim McQuaid, Brendan Fitzgerald, Jack Connicky and Gordon Kellett. Down into the double apex right-hander. Michael again closes down Victor, but no gap there at all. Derek Graham next up, then McMullen. Tim McQuaid coming into view, and he's got Brendan Fitzgerald right on his rear bumper. As they come down into the main arena again. And Roy White with a happy gap this time. It was 0.4 of a second as he went across the line. It's more than that now. So they're not spaced out, but they're not really having a go just yet. Still 9 minutes and 40 seconds to go in this one though. McQuaid pulling away a little bit there. There's that's the car we're talking about. Ross Barnes right out over the curb, closing down. Next on his list now should be Marcus Hayes. Marcus Hayes progressed very well in this, no previous experience, but comes from great stock, of course. His father John Hayes raced and won for many years at Mondello Park and minis and all sorts of different cars, 3-litre Capris, you name it. So it's first 5 cars really together. Derek Graham does look quick here, doesn't he? Look, he's right back up over Michael Cullen again as they go over the curb on the inside at 7B. Back up towards us again for Bahrain's Benz. Fitzgerald trying to get a run on McQuaid there. So in fact Marcus Hayes had got by Barnes on that lap, just looking at the screen here showing us up one, so Barnes had gone back a place on that lap. So there's McMullen going through, McQuaid, Fitzgerald, Conaghy and Kellett then. Here they come up to the final corner. Nobody having a go this time. In fact Victor being a little bit defensive. That was Michael should be quicker again on the way out. He will be, uses all the track on the way out. Michael right in the wheel tracks of Victor now, very hard to distinguish the cars. There is actually a green flash on the window of Victor's car and a yellow one on Michael's. So, as they go by, Michael staying on the inside, doesn't want to go to the outside because he knows what will happen. Derek Graham will have a look, so he leaves Derek Graham out to the outside. But he needs to get by Victor for championship points. Oh, he's gone wide, he slowed down. Michael Cullen's got a problem. He slowed down to a walking pace. Big problem there for Michael Cullen, just as he was challenging Victor again. So I don't know what the problem is, but let's have a look at that. Can we follow that? So Michael Cullen, we're going to find out, see if he's gone into the pits or he's still going. He's not coming through there, is he? Or is that him? Middle of the grid it is. He's still there. Gordon Kellett giving him a little kiss in the back bumper. Remember me from 1995. Oh, and Grimes right into the back of him. He's getting kicked around a little bit here as he loses pace. I just think they're not expecting him to go that slowly. Michael Cullen, obviously a problem. He will keep going if that car will keep going because he needs championship points, but that's dropped him way back. And Barnes will be delighted to see that. If he gets up there and gets by him, I'm sure he will have. There's Barnes, the bottom of the screen now, center of the screen, heading up the hill. And he is gone ahead, so Michael Cullen's struggling, whatever's gone wrong there. We've seen this with Michael before. He's had a few niggling problems with the car. That's McQuaid, Fitzgerald and Conaghy, young Jack Conaghy going nicely here in his first ST race. So we're missing Michael Cullen, that moves everybody up a place. We'll get that on the screen when they go by us again, but it's Roy White from John Elliff. That's McQuaid, Fitzgerald, Conaghy, Kellett, Farrar. Somebody gone off at the outside, Marcus Hayes, curse of the commentator. Just to Charlie McKillen, just taking a place off him. Then it's Chris Jones. Then the recovering Bobby Turley, who went off early on. Then Michael Cullen. You only get points down to, I think, is it 14th place maybe? So I don't think Michael will even get points. He'd get points for, was he in the top 3 in qualifying? No, so it won't have worked too well for him. So Victor is going to be the one with the big points all here from the championship top 3, but not if Derek Graham can do anything about it. Graham down the outside, looks for a switch back to the inside. Victor tries to cover it, but I think Derek Graham's got alongside. No, he hasn't quite. Victor gets the door shut, but he's under big pressure here. Derek Graham back to the outside now. It's White, Elliff, Victor Cullen and Derek Graham. Derek Graham now late on the brakes down the outside. No sponsorship on the car at all. Himself and his dad Aubrey run this car. They've always made a great team together. Aubrey working on the car and Derek working and driving, and Derek's son Michael now very quick driver in Kyrgyzstan as well in his E-Tech. Did a couple of races down here. We'd love to get him back, but they're heading out on turn 3 again, and look at that for a big effort down into the first apex trying to close in, but Victor's got it covered. Goes straight to the inside down to second gear, and there's just no gap there, and that's bringing McMullen back into play as they come back towards us. So we've got 5.5 minutes still to run in this one, but actually 6th place Tim McQuaid will be the man that gets pole for race 2 if it stays the way it is. So in fact Roy White pulling away now. Brendan Fitzgerald gets fastest lap on the last lap, 2:09.338, a 10th quicker than the race leader. So good stuff. First 4 absolutely together. White, Elliff, Cullen, Graham. McMullen not too far away. When they were mixing up there, he was closing them back down. But certainly Roy White beginning to get into a rhythm here, and the gap out to 1.4 seconds. 4 minutes 54 to go on this one. So here they come back towards us again up the hill. No mistakes at all, just 4.5 minutes to go. Looking very good for Roy White. He's looking to sell this car, by the way. It's a good way to sell a car, winning a race on live stream. The two Michael Cullen cars as well, the yellow H cars, Michael and Victor's are for sale. Victor going, say, at Supercup next year. Early Christmas present for Victor, so he'll be mixing with the big boys. Mind you, this class pretty competitive already, but he has had a win in this. So it's White, it's Elif, it's Victor Cullen defending nicely. Then it's Derek Graham, and now right with them is McMullen as they come out onto the main straight. And Tim McQuaid, Fitzgerald, Conaghy. Roy White does fastest lap that time at 2:09 dead. Brendan Fitzgerald 2:08.6 now in 5th place. It's 4/10 quicker than the race leader. All together through Campion corner now. Turn 2 named after the late John Campion. 3rd gear, they might grab 4th on the way down to the double apex right-hander. Turn 3. Derek Graham very quick through there, bringing McMullen with him. Victor had got away a little bit, but they close him right down at the 2nd apex. Victor gets to the apex though and gets on the power a little bit earlier and extends that lead again on the way back up the hill. Right out to the edge of the track, all trying really hard. Be great if Roy White can hold this together. He'd be delighted with this because he's shown flashes of real pace, especially when it rains. He's very, very quick. Sublime car control. Let's see where Barnes is. He's up another place. He's got ahead of Gordon Kellett, so he's up to 11th place. He needs these points. Remember, Victor Cullen in 3rd place will be getting a big portion of points. It's 20, 17, 14, 12, and then down in increments of 1 from there. So Victor Cullen will probably move into the championship lead if it stays as it is. We'll have a look at that later on. Fitzgerald up over that inside curb. He's getting away from Conaghy now, and he's hauled in McQuaid. To come back through here, 2.5 minutes to go. Let's certainly get one more lap after this one. Michael Cullen is in the pits. He's retired, I think. Or has he gone back out? Doesn't look like he has. Something hanging off the back end of Derek Graham's car. He's having another go at Victor there. It's a long pressurized race for Victor Cullen, but hasn't cracked yet, holding on for 3rd place. He'd love to get up onto that Alloy Repair Centre podium again. Roy White beginning to dominate out front. It's at 1.7 seconds. I'll check the lap time so they go by this time. White with an 8.8, doesn't match Fitzgerald's time from last time round. Tim McQuaid with fastest lap now in 8.3. Jack Conaghy fastest lap 2:07.747. The Dundalk man, his first ST race, sets the fastest lap. Purple lap on the timing screens for him. So great stuff. His dad Noel would be delighted with this. He took 2 class wins in the Future Classics yesterday in the Mini, so it could be a good weekend for them. He's going nicely. Would have liked, I'm sure, to get into the top 10. He's running 8th and he's just set fastest lap 2:07.747. He's 1.1 second quicker on that lap than the race leader. That's him, top of the screen. The silver and orange car. Richard Carney. I don't think Richard raced it, but he prepped it a little bit, maybe had it for a while. Then the Connie's got it. They've been working hard on it and did a bit of testing Friday and going quite well. A minute to go on this one. We might get another lap, but this could be it. I'm watching Fergus Brennan below me, who's watching his timing screen on his phone. So if he reaches for the checkered flag, we'll know what the story is. Just as I say it, he reaches for the checkered flag. So it looks like we're probably on the final lap. 46 seconds to go. A last lap effort now for the red car, Derek Graham. It's Groundhog Day for Victor Cullen. He holds the inside line, doesn't leave any gap down the inside, down to 3rd. Not sure if they're coming through here in 3rd or grabbing 2nd in these conditions. Oh, Victor slowing it right down, parking the bus there. He's not leaving any gaps, but certainly not carrying too much speed. He's learned from the master. Derek Graham nowhere to go, only into the back of him. And Derek Graham having a real go. Derek Graham's a good hard racer, but he's very clean. So there won't be any naughty tactics here. I'd be very surprised. It's good stuff from Victor holding him back, but Derek Graham mightn't be finished just yet. Has a quick look down the inside. He's holding them all up now. This is a big queue behind him. Fitzgerald's managed to latch onto that. We missing Conaghy? We are. Gone missing on that lap, I think. Yeah, he is. He's way back, and that's put Barnes up another place. So he must have gone off on that lap. Jack Conaghy. Here we come now, up to the final corner. Big lunge down the inside, doesn't come to anything. Here comes Roy White, checkered flag is in the air. He's going to take his first win in Fiesta STs for Murray Motorsport. What a drive from Roy White, absolutely fantastic stuff. John Elliff equally happy in second place, and Victor Cullen with a haul of championship points and a string of cars behind him takes third place. Derek Graham, what a great debut in that class. Darragh McMullen in fifth, Tim McQuaid in sixth, Brendan Fitzgerald, Trevor Farrar, Chris Grimes, Ross Barnes. Just missing out of the top 10 is Jack Conaghy after a great drive. He must have gone off on the last lap, but certainly he had, did he keep fastest lap? No, Christopher Grimes Jr. fastest lap on the last lap and takes 9th place, 2:07.420, 1.4 seconds quicker than the leader. I'm wondering if some people want a dry setup and some people want to run a wet setup, because Roy White's times were eclipsed towards the end, but he had done the job and got away. Great drive by Roy White. There's your official result. Roy White takes the win by 2.6 seconds from John Elliff, who will also be delighted to be on the podium. Great to see that. And then Victor Cullen in third place. That's your top three in the Alloy Repair Centre Fiesta STs. Just got handed from the Leinster Motor Club there from Ian Stevens in the UK. To the winner of the Anne Stevens Trophy, please accept this small prize that we are presenting in Anne's memory. And loved encouraging all juniors to take part and enjoy motor racing. We hope you do as well. That's absolutely true. Congratulations on your achievement today. And a cheque for £250. That's absolutely fantastic. So imagine how many sweeties you can buy if you're a junior and you get £250. So they won't do that. They'll be spending on Nankang tyres for the front end of their car for the next round. Juniors will be next out. But what a great race from the Alloy Repair Centre Fiesta STs. Look at Roy White, top of the screen with the ZZ Top beard. He absolutely dominated. He'll be delighted with that one. And he said he's thinking of selling that car. So that's not a bad ad for that Murray Motorsport tended car. Roy White, absolutely fantastic drive from him. John Elliff as well. I saw him this morning. He was smiling from ear to ear. Something's clicked. He's got a bit of help with setup on the car. We knew he could drive, though. That's absolutely fantastic. Roy White accepting the congratulations down there. He'll be up on the podium with Roisin Sweeney shortly, and Craig Elliott doing the photos today, I think, for them. So he'll get some podium pictures. But great stuff. Absolutely fantastic. And that's also, I think, for the lunch break. But the lunch break may be shortened because we're coming back with the Patch Tyre Equipment Junior Mini Challenge. And they're coming to the grid a bit early, so 15 minutes early. They're going to park up on the grid. They're going to open the doors, get out of the cars, and then Brian Matthews from Patch Tyre Equipment will be down there. And Lee is going to come down as well. And Danny Mullins, I think Michael Cullen, a few others heading out onto the grid to chat with them. And we will probably have the Anne Stevens Trophy on the grid. We will have the Anne Stevens Trophy and the thumbs up there. I'm working this poor man far too hard. There should be a league of people here helping him this weekend, but fantastic stuff in the Leinster Trophy. And we'll talk about that trophy when we come back up. But we'll be back in probably about half an hour's time, if not less. We've gone a little bit late today, so we will be coming back a little bit earlier. So the Leinster Trophy will be over in the Formula V paddock. If you want to have a look at it, it's well worth having a look at, or take a photo of it, or take a photo with it if you ask really nicely. The Leinster Trophy will be over there with the Leinster Motor Club during the lunch break. You can't miss it. It's massive. It's very impressive. And it's